My question is kind of like with what we've been talking about all morning now.
Good, because we only have one answer.
Okay, how can I get into a connection with my inner being? I know this is where my happiness is. I understand this is who I really am. This is where I should be, but how can I get there?
First, by figuring out when you're not there. That's easy. You don't feel good. Next, by identifying what it is you're focused upon when you don't feel good.
Okay.
So, and usually, it's interesting, what you're doing when you don't feel good is you're saying, I'm not where I should be. In other words, we can give this to you in such a powerful way. Your desire to be in alignment with who you are is so strong that what bothers you most is not being in alignment with who you really are. So you just keep saying, how do I get into alignment? How do I get into alignment? How do I get into alignment? How do I get in the vortex? How do I get into alignment? And we say, can you hear us when we say the vibration of a question and the vibration of the answer are two very different vibrations? And if you keep the question alive incessantly, why aren't I doing better? What am I doing wrong? How come it's not working out? Why am I not there? If you keep the vibration of a question alive all the time, then you never, just give that a rest. Just give that a rest. Look for evidence of how well you are doing. Remember when things were going well. Start making note of things lining up. Esther, even today, when she's driving, she'll drive sometimes 4 or 5 or 6 or 700 miles in a day. Sort of depends on the part of the nation that they're in. Every time she sees a sign that says 333 or 222 or 111, or she says, I'm in the vortex. Because there are so many mile markers that go by that she doesn't see. And when she sees one, she always grins. In other words, she's always looking for evidence of alignment, evidence of alignment, evidence of alignment. That's really all you got to do. Stop noticing so much when you're not aligned, and stop asking so much, why aren't I aligned? Why aren't I enlightened? Because your desire is so strong, friend. Your vortex is swirling in a very powerful way. If you'll just stop doing that thing that's holding you outside your vortex, it'll take you often. Everything that you want is coming to you, and to the degree that you don't have a shield up, you're letting it in. And the shield that you have up that is preventing you from the things you want are those things you say, those things that you keep active, that if you would stop keeping them active, they would fade away. Better. They would fade away. They will not continue to be active in your vibration. So that's the key. You got to care enough about how you feel, that you don't say the things and think the things that aggravate you. So isn't that wonderful that you've got a guidance system that shows you when you're doing that thing you do that's keeping you from what you want? Fear says you're clogging the path. Anger says you're clogging the path. Frustration says you're clogging the path, not as much as with fear, but it's clogged a little bit. In other words, path of least resistance is a clear path. The path of least resistance is a path of joy, a path of fun, a path of eagerness, a path of passion, a path of clarity. Those are the emotions that you're reaching for. And you just have to stay focused long enough to produce those emotions in you when it's easy. And we're telling you, it's easier at the first part of the day. But if you get up and you focus on the issue at hand or the problem at hand, then you just bring the path of most resistance right into your vibration, and law of attraction just takes over from there. You see how it works? Do you see how it works? Do you believe that you are the creator of your own reality? Do you believe that you are the attractor of it? Do you believe that everything that you want is on its way to you? You're summoning it and blocking it. It's like saying, come here, go away. I want you, go away. I want you, but I don't believe you. That's what you do to your boyfriends too. I want you. I don't want you. But I want you, but I don't want you. But I want you, but I don't want you. But I want you, but I don't want you. Well, make up your mind. If you want it, then practice the thoughts of your desire. And desire feels good. Doubt feels bad, you see. So you all think you have to face reality. We should face reality. Otherwise, we'll just look stupid in this world, Abraham. If I act happy today when something bad's happening around the world, people will think I'm weird. Well, be weird then. Be weird. Be the one who's not all twirled up in that. Because most of this stuff that you're focused upon that has you feeling bad is not going to bring Ebola to your house. It's not going to bring it right to you. It's not going to bring a terrorist to your door. But what it is going to do is keep the money away that you've been wanting. What it is going to do is keep the clarity away. It's going to hold you in a place of sort of suspended animation where everything that you want is there ready to pop for you, but you're on a different channel. You're just not perceiving it. It's right there. You're just not perceiving it. And you know that because you've had the glorious experience of being on the wavelength where you got the idea. So how do these vibrations turn to the manifestations that you want? How does it happen? It comes vibrationally, and you are the interpreter of it, just like what's happening with Esther right now. We're offering these blocks of thoughts. It's like she's hardwired. She's interpreting the blocks of thoughts in a seamless way. The thoughts are occurring to Esther in real time as we are presenting the blocks of thought to Esther. She's receiving them real time, and that's what happens to you. You get an idea. Esther has begun really wanting and doing a pretty good job of acting on inspired thought in the moment that the inspired thought comes. When she gets a thought about calling someone, she calls right then. She doesn't write it down and put it on the list that she'll get to. She used to have a list, things to do today that really matter, things to do today that I might get to and I might not, things to do tomorrow if I have time, things that don't matter to me very much. And we say, all of those lists are irrelevant. Don't keep long lists of things that you think that you're going to get to. You are powerful in your now. Your path is unfolding now. That would be like you're walking down this path and it's a long drop off. And you're walking and you know where you want to be, and you have the impulse, I should go that way, not that way. And then you say, I'll make a note of it and tend to it later. No, don't write it down. Tend to it now. Put your foot where it belongs. But the other thing that we want to say to you is that the path is coming to you. It's not a path that you're trying to discover. The path is at your feet. The question is, are you in the right vibrational vicinity so that you can see the path? Are you getting the impulse? How do these manifestations occur? The first manifestation that indicates your point of attraction, the first manifestation is your emotion. Your emotion. What could be a bigger manifestation than the way you feel? Really, when you think about it. Is there any bigger manifestation than the way you feel? And it's instantaneous. It's right here, right now, letting you know, how does this thought fit with who you really are? And if you feel anything less than wonderful, this thought right here and now does not fit at all. What's the next? What's the next manifestational evidence? Ideas start to occur to you. Ideas, thoughts. You start getting thoughts. You start getting our thoughts. You start getting thoughts. Now, we know where you are and we know where you want to be. But where you want to be, you're going to blow. If we told you what you want is right now, most of you would not go there. You'd have 15 or 20 reasons why you're not going to do that, not right now. So instead, we give you, say it more accurately. Instead, you translate it into the thought that you can perceive. In other words, you're translating into the thought of least resistance. Are you following this? You're translating into the thought of least resistance. You let your good in to the degree that you can believe it. That's really what it comes down to. You let your good in to the degree that you can. I keep moving forward, but the manifestation never catches up with me. Well, then there's something out of balance in your energies, because that's just not how it works. When you hold a desire and you focus upon the desire, and you stop focusing upon the absence of the desire, the new desire has to fill in the space. It just has to. And if it isn't, if your spaces, meaning your now, meaning what you can hear and see and smell and taste and touch, if your now reality is not filling in with the things that you desire, then your vibration is not quite where you think it is. So as your awareness is, as it clearly is, and it's all right, it's the way most are doing, is upon what is now and therefore what's missing from now, your awareness of the missing things in your now prevent them from coming. Creating is about identifying what is wanted and then letting that identification have been enough and now be in an optimistic mood for the universe to deliver to you the clues and the impulses and the advantages of witnessing those things that you desire filling, flooding, moving into your experience. So we're going to say it in very blunt terms. Your awareness of now is preventing your now from changing, because your attention upon what is such a dominant vibration. So you're offering a vibration mostly about what is, and it's full of questions like, where is it, and what do I need to do differently, and why doesn't it come faster, and those kinds of things, which keeps it from coming. Now is what's getting in the way of what you want to create, because now has already been created. What you're living now, this now reality, this is as a result of the energies that you have flowed. In other words, this now reality is old news, and it is also the bouncing off place for what is new. And so you've got to get more of your attention on the feeling of where you're going, and the feeling of expansion, and the feeling of the new, and the feeling of adventure. And you've got to get your attention off of the disappointment that now isn't more. Mold your energy, your point of attraction, so that you can receive what you desire. This is deliberate creation at its best. And there are just no more blunt words that we can give to you, is that if you are keenly aware of what is in your reality, what is in your reality will keep becoming more of what is in your reality. And so if things are missing and you're focused upon what is, those missing things will continue to be what is, you see. So be a little less in your head and a little more in your emotions. Be a little more general and a little less specific. And so let's let that more readiness that you are accomplishing be more emotional anticipation and less determination of making it happen.